Hey guys, Basement Breakdown here. Alright, I'm in Portugal, and I have yet to make my picks for Noche UFC. So let's go through it very quickly. Rodrigo Niziando goes up against Daniil Donchenko. I think the Ukrainian is going to win. He has bulldozed through everybody in tough, so I expect him to do the same thing to Rodrigo. So we're going to take Daniil Donchenko. I think I'm going to take him by a second round KO. We move up. Montez Rendon goes up against Elise Pereira. Elise Pereira is a 19-year-old chick from Mexico, and she is actually not favored in this fight versus Montez Rendon. However, Elise Pereira is very impressive. I believe she has an undefeated record. And I'm going to take her in this fight against Montez Rendon. I think she'll be able to win a decision over her. We move up. Alessandro Costa goes up against Alden Correa. I think there's a reason why Alessandro Costa is a minus 455 favorite. I think that he'll be able to get this fight done. He can do it in multiple different ways, but I think he's going to win a very unanimous decision. I also think he can finish Alden, but we're going with a unanimous decision. Zachary Reese goes up against Cedricus Dumas, who has an ankle monitor on his leg, but he is allowed to fight. I guess in Mexico City or something. Yeah, Cedricus Dumas has a weird career. He was supposed to fight like a little while ago, but yeah, court order wouldn't let him take off his ankle monitor. He's going up against Zachary Reese. I don't think Cedricus Dumas is going to have what it takes to beat Zachary Reese. I don't know if Zachary Reese is going to be able to finish Cedricus, but I do worry for him. With that being said, I'm going with Zachary Reese winning a unanimous decision over Cedricus Dumas. And I don't know if Cedricus is going to be in the UFC following this fight. Maybe he'll be in jail. All right, Jesus Aguilar goes against Luis Gurriel. I am not going to go with the underdog. I was thinking about going with Jesus Aguilar. He's maybe a better all-around guy than Luis. I think Luis wins a lot of his fights because of his striking. Like, he gets taken down, but he wins the striking battle and wins some decisions. I'm going to go with Luis Gurriel because I think he'll be able to keep it on the feet and he'll be able to land more than Jesus. We'll see. Tatiana Suarez, a.k.a. Patchy Mix's wife, goes up against Amanda Lemos. Tatiana Suarez fought Zhang Weili for the title, where she was able to take her down in the first round and proceeded to do fuck all. Get handled by Zhang Weili. Tatiana Suarez, as old as she is, I did not realize she was undefeated going into that Zhang Weili fight. I think she'll have what it takes to beat Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos is at a time in her career when she's losing to a lot of people. I think Tatiana Suarez has the edge here, and she will be able to win a unanimous decision because it is a chick fight. We move up. Claudio Puelles versus Joaquim Silva. I am going to take Joaquim Silva. Why? Because I like him more, and he's a fucking dog. Joaquim Silva, KO. We move up. Jose Daniel Medina versus my boy Dusko Todorovic. I think the Serbian is going to win this fight. That's why he is so heavily favorited. I think he'll be able to get him out of there. So we're going to go with a first round knockout from Dusko Todorovic. We move up. The Great Ape, Alexander Hernandez, who just slayed the Great Chase Hooper, goes up against Diego Ferreira. For some reason, the odds now have Alexander Hernandez as the favorite. I think Diego Ferreira is going to be able to pick apart Alexander Hernandez. This is the type of shit that he does. I think Diego Ferreira's this is a good matchup for him. I worry for Alexander Hernandez coming off of it's a little late notice, but yeah, I think Diego Ferreira will be able to get this done. I didn't realize he was an underdog. Santiago Luna makes his UFC debut against Quang Lei. I am going with the favorite. I am not impressed from Quang Lei's performances in the UFC, and that is my pick. I hope you guys like my seashell choker. It's beautiful. Kelvin, the fat man, Gastelum goes up against Dustin Stolfus. I know some people are taking Dustin Stolfus. I think Dustin Stolfus fucking sucks, and I think Kelvin Gastelum had a decently close fight with Joe Pfeiffer last time out, where he was able to get some of his striking off. He didn't look too good in the first round, but he had moments. I think he'll have what it takes to beat Dustin Stolfus in this fight by decision. Rafael Garcia goes up against Jared Gordon. If Jared Gordon hadn't been robbed in so many fights, he might actually be ranked. We all remember that Paddy Pimblett fight. Jared Gordon's coming off of a nice win. I think he'll be able to beat Rafael Garcia. I don't really know how. I think Jared Gordon's a better all-around fighter than Rafael Garcia, I think is what it comes down to. And I think there's a reason he's at minus 245. Jared Gordon by unanimous decision, and I hope they don't rob him. Let's go. Our co-main event, Rob Font, the Prospect Slayer, Number 9, ranked in his division, goes up against David Martinez. I am going with Rob Font because I cannot go with David Martinez. Yeah, Rob Font's a vet, and he's fought much better comp, and he's just looked better as of late. And then where's David Martinez? Like, Rob Font was able to take out Kyler Phillips. Like, I don't know. I really like Rob Font. I think he has the edge in this fight, so I'm going with him. Now for the main event. This is something I've gone back and forth with. Fuck, I don't know. Wait. Has the odds switched? Are people betting now on Diego Lopez more than Gene Silva? I don't know. Hold up. Sorry, guys. Crazy. They had, I was like, why the hell is Diego Lopez favorited? I've been looking at, like, the lines. Anyways. Diego Lopez takes on John Silva, the last member of the Fighting Nerds who remains undefeated. Honestly, this is a tough one. Diego Lopez, he kind of, like, goes forward with his head up a lot. John Silva, I remember he took that fight against Drew Dober on late notice and moved up a weight class to fight him. He's coming off of the Bryce Mitchell win, which is his, first test. I don't know. I feel like Diego Lopez keeps his freaking chin up in the air a lot. I feel like there's a lot of unknown factors here. Like, Diego Lopez just fought for the title, picked a round off of Volk, arguably knocked him down, arguably could have had 2 rounds, but yeah, I don't know. This is tough. Diego Lopez has the experience going 5 rounds with Volkanovski. He's fought good opponents in Sadiq Youssef, Dan Ige, but he got touched up a little bit by Brian Ortega in that fight, and Aljamain Sterling was outstruck Brian Ortega. So honestly, I'm kind of worried, and because of that, I'm gonna go with John Silva. I don't know. I could be wrong about this, but I'm gonna go with John Silva. There's a lot of unanswered questions with him, and Diego Lopez will be the guy who will, answer those questions. I think John Silva has good jiu-jitsu. He's good on the ground. He's got good striking. He's very animated, so he does keep his hands down sometimes. But I know that Diego Lopez plots forward with his head up in the air, and I can see John Silva getting the knockout. However, this is a huge, huge step up in competition. Number 2 against number 10. But I am taking the Fighting Nerd in John Silva. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go booze. Basement Breakdown, out.